So new research indicates that a cup of coffee, or maybe 3, could help you lose a few lbs.
Joining us on the KOGO News Live Line, healthy living expert Judy Gaman. Judy, tell us about this study.
Well, you know what's interesting is that it was just 10 years ago that we found out about brown fat in the body. You think we know everything about the human body, and just 10 years ago we figured this out. So it turns out we have good and bad fat inside of our body, and the brown fat is actually the good fat. Why is it brown? Because it has extra iron and it actually has more mitochondria. You may remember from your biology class that's the powerhouse of the cell, and that's what creates energy. So why is coffee important? Because it stimulates brown fat, it heats it up, and that's how we burn calories.
Okay, I'm liking this more and more because caffeine is my drug of choice. So is this black coffee only, or can we throw a latte in there?
Yeah, that now. Once you start throwing in the sugar and the frappo, whatever, to it, you're really defeating the purpose. And here's the other thing is, if you drink more than 3 cups, it kind of negates what you're doing. So the sweet spot really is 1 to 3 cups of black coffee, and that's what does the trick. Now, one thing that we do at Executive Medicine of Texas when we do our executive physicals is we ask people, how much coffee are you drinking, and when do you stop drinking it? Because the half-life of coffee is 6 hours. So that means if you are drinking coffee, say, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, at 8 p.m., you still have half of that effect of that caffeine in your body. So you may be having trouble going to sleep. A good rule of thumb is to stop drinking coffee around noon or 1 o'clock.
That explains so much.
Especially about your sleeping pattern, our sleeping patterns. Yeah,
I cannot go to sleep if I drink coffee after noon. It just blows my doors off.
You know, Judy, that so many people after dinner, they're like, would you like a cup of coffee? Oh, sure. And then, oh, boy. So then you're having a hard
wired,
time.
Right? You find yourself on, and it's a vicious cycle because you find yourself on the computer or on your phone because you're wired, but then the blue light from the phone or the computer, the TV, keeps you from going to sleep because your body can't produce melatonin. It literally is the perfect storm, having coffee late at night, because it just creates one thing after another after another.
So is it just coffee, or is it anything with caffeine?
Yeah, like green tea, would that work?
Well, the study was just on coffee, but here's a good thing to remember, is coffee is not the only way to stimulate brown fat. I mean, we know that just exercising can do it, and getting good sleep, 7.5 hours of uninterrupted sleep, can also stimulate the brown fat. Now, babies are 5% brown fat. This is how they stay warm. This is why they look cute little chubby babies. They look the way they do. As we get older, we lose that brown fat, and if we do have it, it's generally around our neck or our shoulders. But there's been some interesting research that found out that if we exercise either 150 minutes of walking or tennis, that's moderate, or 75 minutes of vigorous, that's kind of like jogging or swimming, we can actually produce a protein called irisin. And irisin can transform the white fat, that's the bad fat, into brown fat. So we can transform our fat. Now remember, caffeine doesn't transform your fat, or coffee doesn't rather, it just stimulates the brown fat. So here's the perfect recipe, right? So you exercise that 150 minutes of a week of regular exercise, and then you have your cup of coffee in the morning. So you've created more brown fat, and you've stimulated it. So this is a good trick, a good way to actually make this research work for you.
All right, Judy Gaman joining us here on the KOGO News Live Line, healthy living expert. Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you. KOGO News Time 547.